Alright, the learning target for this video is I can factor polynomials. So you're going to be taking trinomials and factoring them, which is basically the opposite of what we've been doing. We've been starting with two binomials, multiplying them, and ending up with a trinomial. Now we are breaking apart this trinomial and turning it into two binomials that multiply to it. So it's the opposite operation from what we've been doing. The steps to do this, we use the mnemonic, my father drives a red Mustang, to help you remember how to do that. So we're going to work through what each of those means, and then we will work this problem from there. So the my step is to multiply, and when you do that, you multiply this coefficient of the x squared and this constant. So in this case, we're multiplying 3 times 10, and when you get 3 times 10, you get 30. So that's the multiply step. So it starts out very simple. The factors step, the father is factors, and what you do in the factors step is you look for all the pairs of numbers that multiply to 30. So what pairs of numbers multiply to 30? So we're going to start, when you make your list, we're going to do it in order. So we start with the number 1. 1 times what is 30? Well, you should know that 1 times 30, so 1 and 30 multiply to 30. And what we're looking for as let's actually make our list and then we'll talk about what we're looking for. So 1 and 30 multiply to 30. After 1 comes 2. 2 and 15 multiply to 30. If you're not sure what it is that multiplies to 30 or whether it does, just go to your, let's go back from there. Go to your calculator and do 30 divided by, in this case, 2, and hit Control Enter to see if we get a whole number. We do. It is 15. So that's our 15 here. The next one is 3, and you know, because this is how we got it, that 3 and 10 multiply to 30. So we have 3 and 10. After 3 comes 4. Is 4 times something 30? Nope, 4 doesn't go into 30, so we don't have that. Now we have 5, and you know 5 times 6 is 30, so we have 5 and 6. When you get to the point where your next number would be one you've already used, you're halfway through. The only thing we need to do now is, because order doesn't matter here, we need to look at the negative numbers that multiply to 30. Because in addition to 1 times 30 being 30, negative 1 and negative 30 multiply to 30. And then we can keep going. Negative 2 and negative 15. So negative 2 and negative 15 multiply to 30. And negative 3 and negative 10 multiply to 30, and then last negative 5 and negative 6 multiply to 30. Now that we've listed all the factors of 30, we are looking for which of them add up to this middle number, add up to a positive 17. We know it's positive because it has a plus sign right here. So which of these add to a positive 17? Right here, 2 plus 15 gives us 17, so that's the factors that we are going to use. So we are finished with our factor step. From now on, if you find your factors before you've listed all of them, that's fine. You are not required to list all of them. You just need to find, you need to go through your factors of this number until you find the 2 that add to the middle term of your trinomial. Okay. For the drives part of my father drives a red Mustang, we divide. So you are going to start writing your two binomials now. We know that they're going to look something like this, that they are going to start with an x in front and an x in front here. That's all we have so far. And then we have 2 and 15. They are both positive, so we are going to put plus 2 and plus 15. Now comes the divide part. We are going to divide by this first coefficient here, the coefficient of the x squared. So you take the 2 and divide by 3, and you take the 15 and you divide by 3. Okay, now this was the divide step. Now let's take a look at the red, which is the reduce step. To reduce this, we look and see if we can reduce this fraction. We can't. It's as simple as it can get. 15/3, we can reduce that. So what we end up with after this step is x plus 2/3 still. We keep that the same because it will not reduce anymore. So x plus 2/3. And our next one, we have x plus 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we have x plus 5. Now for our last one, in my father drives a red Mustang. Mustang is our reminder for move. So we are going to move this 3 right here to be in front of the x right here. Only this x. So and that gives us our answer. We end up with 3x plus 2 times x plus 5. Since there was no fraction left here, we just have the x plus 5 that we had in the previous step. Now we need to check our work. So we are going to go to our calculator, and let's do a new document, add a calculator. We are going to store a variable for x, or store a number for x. So I'm going to pick 5, control var x. I hit enter. And now I type in the original problem, 3x squared plus 17x plus 10. So I have 3x squared plus 17x plus 10. And then I hit my equal sign. And now I type in the answer, which in this case is 3x plus 2. And that has to be in the parentheses. 3x plus 2 in parentheses, and x plus 5 in parentheses. I hit enter, and I get true, so I know that I did my work correctly, and that is the correct answer. So that is how you, factor a trinomial.